Let's start at this point, because like we've seen that there's a lot at this point. We're just gonna go through the list. If I haven't played, I'm just gonna go through it, just because like it's not entertaining. Just sit here and watch me go. I haven't played. I'm gonna move this back down to haven't played, because I technically haven't, but I know it's horrible. Okay, the original BioShock. This game is it's amazing. I'm gonna say it's amazing. Or actually, I'm gonna even go down to great. Personally, this is a personal list. The reason why I'm saying great and not anything better than that is, I don't know, I feel it's not a game that I would replay ever. I feel like it's a one and done type thing. I don't even know if it has New Game Plus or anything like that, but I do remember my time with it, which is a good thing. It's definitely better than the sequel, BioShock 2 and Infinite. I don't like Infinite at all, actually. So if there was a rating between great and amazing, BioShock would be in it. However, yeah, I didn't really like any of the gameplay. I actually didn't really like. However, the exploration and the world itself was what I got like really drawn to, actually. So like, because of that, I feel like it does deserve the great rating, because literally just the talent that went into designing the world, possibly, is its greatest asset. And I would say the reveal, the would you kindly reveal, is pretty good. It does do a good job at surprising you at the end with that. I don't think anybody counted that on their first time. Did anybody actually call that on their first time that they were getting mind? I doubt it. Fallout New Vegas, once again, I'm gonna put it in the very good, because the actual exploration and the characters are great. I love interacting with it, but everything about the gameplay sucks ass. Now, of course, I'm only talking about vanilla Fallout New Vegas. Actually, in that case, never mind. I'm gonna put it. Yeah, I'll keep it very good. But holy shit, this game is doo doo when you really think about it. Like without mods. Like aside, the campaign is really good. I like it a lot. It's way better than 3. But because it's on 3's engine, that has every single Bethesda issue up until then, and obviously they're not going to do anything about it. Excuse me. Okay, so I believe this is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, right? So Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I'm gonna honestly, I'll call it good. I played it a little bit when I used to have a Switch. It was entertaining for what it was. I am not a Switch player, and I'm not a Smash Bros. Person either. But like, I enjoyed my time with it, and there was a lot of content, which is good, right? It keeps you entertained with it, which is nice. But one thing that I didn't like about it, honestly, was just the gameplay of it. I'm not big into the Smash stuff. I don't know. That's just personal. I don't know. I don't like it. TF2. I'm gonna put TF2 in very good, because honestly, I've played it for maybe like 4 or 5 hours, but that was because it was on like a really old rig that would not run anything else. But at the same time, TF2 has such established character identities for each of their characters. It's literally incredible what they've done to the character action game, or not character action, but more so the hero focused games, because this was really the first one at that, right? Like the first mainstream one was TF2 that had like that almost cartoony but still like, you know, competitive gameplay, which I think was really good. It's really entertaining to watch too. A lot of TF2 content creators out there are really talented. The ones that especially do like the character breakdowns, they clearly know their shit, and if you're interested in the series, or in the game I should say, I'd recommend checking them out. Until Dawn. Until Dawn is good. It is basically just Heavy Rain. It is like every David Cage game except done well. That's what it is. So I feel like the reason why it's not higher is just due to the fact that the gameplay is kind of stale, in my opinion. Like I don't know, the walking around talking and things, everything being a QTE, it's just, I don't know, it's not fun to play. However, I do know a lot of people that will go back to this game constantly and like try to get different endings and stuff, so the replay value is there. However, personally, I'm not really into that. The whole QTE thing, where everything is a different button always. There's no defined, like, X is gonna control your hands, A is gonna do a jump. Like, sometimes you're jumping with the A button, sometimes you're jumping with the Y. It's just completely, you know, completely crazy. In terms of, like, the story, though, it is entertaining, like, watching it. I feel like that's the best possible way to experience the game, is to watch a content creator play it, and I think that's what it was designed for. Warframe. Warframe is actually pretty good. I spent a lot of time with Warframe. Warframe was a game in which you could spend thousands of hours, and you'd probably still have things to do in it, most likely. I mean, I've only played it for around 300-ish hours, I want to say. Hold on, let's double check. How long have I played Warframe for? Warframe, yeah, so 388 hours. That was due to a lot of free time. And the gameplay loop is satisfying. They have definitely improved themselves since their alpha. If you remember the alpha Warframe, it was honestly a different game at that point. Nowadays, Warframe has become very set in what it wants to accomplish. There's no differentiating anymore. They're not going to switch out any movement, I don't believe. Everything is going... The way that things are right now is the way that it's most likely going to be for a while, because it is really enjoyable to actually sit down and play. The issue with it, now this is going to be very controversial, and this is just my opinion, but the issue with Warframe is that I literally don't see a way that you could enjoy this game initially without spending money. Now I'm saying initially, and I'm stressing initially, because I've seen it firsthand. Most of the friends that I introduced to this game don't want to play it after like maybe 3 or 4 hours, because after a certain point, it's just like you cannot progress. Now, what I did to further my enjoyment, I think I made 2 purchases a long time ago, which was getting Pressure Point Prime, which increases your melee damage by a fuck ton. That just ensures that you're able to kill things at every rank. Like, not immediately, but just ensures that you can kill them. And I don't know what the other one was. I can't remember, but it was a while ago. But I made 2, and that actually like drastically increased my enjoyment of the game to the point where I would sink 388 hours. Now, will I say that the game is great on its own without those merits? I think I'm actually gonna go down to very good. Just because the game's story is actually surprisingly good too. It's just, I feel like that barrier for most players is going to be enough to turn them off. So moving on, we got Uncharted 4. I've played Uncharted 4 multiple times, and it's funny because the reason why I wanted to do this in the first place was I was browsing through Twitter like a couple days ago, and I saw somebody did their, not a tier list, but it was more like my favorite game, my favorite story, my favorite like gameplay, whatever, right? So they're doing stuff like that, and they put Uncharted 4 as one of their top games of all time. Now, personally, I really disagree with that. It is entertaining. However, the on-rails nature of it being a linear title, and it being a Naughty Dog game, really shows, I don't know, a lack of freedom, I would say, in terms of how you can approach things. Sure, they have now sort of widened it. However, I still feel like the games are very linear to the point where it's almost like, you know, like, do what we want you to do when we do it, right? There's no other way to progress other than the main path. Now, that in of itself is not a bad thing. There are plenty of linear games out there that I do enjoy. Let me think of a couple. Metal Gear Rising, probably one of the most linear games ever. But because the gameplay loop is so entertaining with that game over this game, because like what this is, what Uncharted 4 is, it is a third-person shooter that allows you to use a rope and swing. And when you think of it in that way, that literally is what Uncharted 4 is. When you break the game down to its gameplay loop, it is do stealth for a bit, then you get into a combat where it's a cover shooter, and now that cover shooter allows you to use a rope and swing around on very specific things, mind you, not on the environment, you know, whenever you want. It's only on certain points you're able to swing, right? So when you think of it like that, this game is very boring, honestly, after a while. And it's like, it's so interesting because the first time you play it, it'll feel great. The game will feel amazing, right? The first time you play it, but on repeat playthroughs, it's incredible. It just goes down, but it doesn't go down like normally. It goes down like drastically. It just drops. So for that, I'm gonna put it, Uncharted 4 is good. Everything else that it does is fine. The story is all right. I'm almost hesitant to put it in decent because I mean the story too has issues. The Hector Alcazar story, the lie that Sam says is like really fucking stupid, and it forces the main protagonist to be really dumb for the sake of plot. Cause like, you know, I'm gonna put in decent, yeah, cause I'm thinking on the plot too, and the plot's not that great either. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. So now this is where things are gonna get interesting because the next one's Yakuza, and I'm big into the Yakuza games right now. So that being said, this is Yakuza Kiwami 2, the remake of 2 that was released in, I want to say, like either 2018, 2019, 2020. I can't remember when, but it was like a more recent title. The gameplay on it is incredibly fun. The combat feels fucking beautiful. The progression is all right. It's definitely fine. It's not as good as 0. However, it is still an enjoyable loop. You know, like having to go to restaurants and eat food, and different food gets you different. It gets you different stat increases that you can then use to purchase abilities. That's a fun loop. And it also gets you more invested in the world, and it makes it more immersive because you're forced to actually interact with the world if you want to progress in yourself. However, I didn't think the story was that good. I don't know how controversial that is, but I didn't think the story was that fun. It focuses on you and a police detective, and you basically, I only remember like plot points of it too, and this is bad because I played it like less than a year ago, and I don't remember much. But I remember it's you and a police girl. Ryuji Goda is the main antagonist. His boss, like the boss fights and the combat stuff, they're all fine. They are all up to Yakuza standards of being very, very, very good. It's just like I don't know. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it in very good. I think it's very good. Yeah. I didn't find the story that good compared to 0. And see, this is difficult too because it's not like it's 2's fault, because Yakuza 0 technically released after Kiwami 2, because Kiwami 2 is limited in what it can do because it's a sequel to a game that came out in like it came out in like 2003, I think. So it's very limited in the, I don't know, the story it could tell, because obviously it was a remake of a game that, you know, is old, so it's not going to do anything crazy. Battlefield 1, I think Battlefield 1 is bad. I didn't like it at all. I don't like any of the new Battlefield games. There's just something about them. Personally, I'm also just not big into the World War II or World War I games for that matter, so that already doesn't bode well. But I don't know, the story was garbage. This is bothering me how you didn't capitalize any of the... I'm gonna do that real quick. I don't know if this is just ADD. This might be ADHD talking, but I want to capitalize everything here. Really bad. Horrible, and yeah, okay. So, Battlefield 1 is bad. I did not like it at all. I thought that in most cases, you played this game for like maybe a couple days, and by days I mean like play sessions, as in like maybe 3 to 4 hours if you're normal, and that's it. the multiplayer is so frustrating because it's all conquest. It's literally just conquest. Now if you're into that, that's good, I guess, but the big maps followed by all of the snipers that do like nearly 1 to 2 shot kills versus really, I'm pretty sure it had pretty bad balancing too. Yeah, all things considered, it wasn't that great. Okay, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 is great. I remember playing this game a long time ago. Or what's it, Pro Skater 3? I played because I played it on the Xbox. If it came on the Xbox, let's see. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1. Pro Skater 2. Did it come on the Xbox? Yeah, it did. Let me just jog my memory. Yeah, I did play this one. Because I also played 3 too, and I remember the 3 had like the crazy updated visuals, but I just wanted to make sure because I couldn't remember if I played the first one, I was reviewing the wrong one. But no. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 is fucking great. It is a lot of fun. I don't know what else you can really say, but it's just fun. Red Dead Redemption 2 is good. This is gonna be so fucking... My taste in games is so fucking weird. Okay. I hate the gameplay loop of Red Dead Redemption 2. I think the combat is somehow worse than it was in Red Dead Redemption 1. Sure, the ragdolls are way better and like the impacts of bullets are great, but like actually like being able to do cool shit is like so not able to happen with this engine. Cause I don't know, you just get, all the bullets are hit scan for the most part, meaning like they'll just shoot and it's a % chance if they hit you or not, so you can't really do much in the way of dodging bullets. Not to say that this game should be about like dodging bullets Matrix style, but like in most games, right, like it allows you to do a little roll, right? This game has a roll, however I've been shot mid-roll when I was diving into cover, and it's just like, alright. Now that coupled with the absolutely linear fucking game design that Rockstar is stuck with, which I absolutely hate. I think Rockstar really needs to wisen the fuck up and at least start to do your open world games, make them non-linear. You are an open world, not if you are a closed world, as in you have set missions. Like, okay, you want my opinion on Red Dead Redemption 2? Go watch Nakey Jakey's video on it, but then also add the fact that I personally fucking hate the combat in of itself. I just despise it. It is not fun at all. The world looks beautiful. There are literal, like, painting-like scenery that you can walk up to the fucking side of a mountain, look out of it, and take a screenshot, and it'll look like it was like taken by like a beautiful, I don't know, like a camera, and it's gorgeous. Or it looks like it was hand painted. It looks gorgeous. But that will only take it so far. Actually going down and playing it is frustrating. Halo Reach I think is decent. I actually got into a little bit of a not a scuffle. I don't know how to describe it. I got into a little bit of a feud with a buddy of mine about this because I don't know. I feel like I'm like one of the only few who really didn't like this game. I think the story was kind of dog shit, honestly. I want to stop saying so much. Fuck. But it's just like I'm going like into the memory banks with this, right? I remember playing Halo 3 a lot. I really liked Halo 3, but then when Halo Reach came out, mind you, the pre-Halo Reach for me was one of the most hyped things I have ever had in my life. I remember I pre-ordered this the day it was announced. I watched every single VDoc that you had to download from the Microsoft Store. I watched every single one of them over and over and over again. I got the deluxe edition that had the little statue with all of the members of Noble's, what was it? The Noble team on it. And yet when I actually played it, I played it for the first time and I was like, oh, it's good. It's good. I like it. And then I played it again and then I was like, I don't know, it's losing me. Because when you think about it, when you think about Halo Reach, I don't think of a single level. I don't think of a single memorable level at all. I remember places, but I don't remember any of the objectives or the reasons why we're there. Actually, I take that back. The only mission that comes to mind is the Spire mission, and that's partly due to the fact that it was also one of the biggest like multiplayer maps too. And I remember a lot of invasion maps happening on that I was like really into because I liked that game mode a lot. But Halo Reach in of itself is just it's a definitive step up from Halo 3 in terms of gameplay. However, personally, I preferred the gameplay loop of Halo 3 in all of its, like the sum of all of its parts, right? Because Halo Reach multiplayer had its fucking issues. I hate armor abilities, and this is the game that introduced them, right? Already hate that. And I found myself going back to Halo 3 when I was younger. I went back to it because I was just, not into it. And I found I was not alone. There were a lot of players who bounced back to Halo 3. And there's a reason why a lot of people will still stand by that Halo 3 was one of the better ones, or one of the best ones, rather. Batman Arkham City. Batman Arkham City was honestly great. I really liked it. Reason why, the world's beautiful. The characters are literally ripped from the cartoon. I swear they're ripped from the animated series, and I love it. The voice performances of all of the characters too. Mark Hamill, oh my god, I'm blanking on Batman's fucking voice actor's name. For whatever reason, I want to say Kevin Bacon, but I know it's not. Fuck. What is his name? Shit. I'm blanking so hard right now. I usually know this, I swear. Mark Hamill and... oh my god, what is his name? I'm not even gonna look it up. It's gonna come to me. I'm gonna be really mad when it does. I keep thinking Kevin Bacon. Mark Hamill and... fuck, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna be here all day. Batman voice actor. I cannot remember. Where is he? God, there's 45 of them. I think it's Kevin something. That's why I'm thinking Kevin Bacon. Kevin Conroy. That's why I was thinking Kevin. Fuck. It's Kevin Conroy. So, Kevin Conroy does a fucking fantastic job at embodying Batman. There's a lot of great moments in that game too that are super fucking memorable. I remember the Ra's al Ghul shit like it was yesterday when I played that because that was so cool. And you have one of the most just like drop mic endings of any game ever. Which, spoilers if you don't know, literally Joker dies. He just fucking dies. They killed Mark Hamill's Joker. Just right there. Ended it off, and he carries him out like in all the paintings that you see throughout the asylum in the first game. It's fucking crazy. The soundtrack too, I should talk about the soundtracks from now on too. This goes for Yakuza Kiwami too, by the way. Soundtrack's fucking banger. But Batman Arkham City's soundtrack, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 soundtrack, fucking good. But Batman Arkham City's OST is on. There's a reason why Arkham Knight's soundtrack is literally, most of it is literally just rips from this game that are just carried over, because it's the perfect embodiment of Batman, I swear. Modern Warfare 3 was fucking bad. God damn this game. I loved Modern Warfare 2 as a kid because I was a teenager and I grew up in the 2000s. I think everybody who was probably played Modern Warfare 2 and liked it. It just had that gameplay loop that was really, really good. But this is not talking about Modern Warfare 2. We're talking about Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 3 was a fucking shameless cash grab. It really was. I remember I got this day one. I played it for a day. No, I played it for 2 days and I returned it. That was the first game that I ever like actually went out of my way and returned. Regardless of like hype surrounding it. Because when I was younger, I would always want to like play games with friends. So whatever my friends were getting, I would be like, yeah, I'll ask my parents and see if we can get it, and then I'll play with you. This was the one that I was like, I see people on my friends list playing it, and I'm just like, all right, whatever, fuck that. I feel like that was when I wisened up to the Call of Duty series, because the last one I played was Black Ops, and I'm sure we'll get to that because I didn't like Black Ops either. Like I said, we're gonna get a lot of controversial opinions out of the way here. Mass Effect 2 was very good. That was Snapchat, which reminds me daily of like shit that I don't know about. Mass Effect 2 is really great. The story is honestly fantastic. It has one of the most memorable endings of anything ever, which is the suicide mission. I feel like a couple of the issues are just related just to the era that it came out in. Which, I mean, if we were to go by that, though, then this list would look a whole lot different. However, If we're just going based on my opinion right now, I feel like I'm able to look past that and enjoy the game for what it is, which is a story-driven RPG. So because of that, I like it. Now, I said I was gonna hold off on doing Final Fantasy VII instead do the remake and just review the remake. But here's the thing, I didn't like the remake. So I'm worried because if I put Final Fantasy VII in like the decent category, like I'm about to put it in, I feel like a lot of people are going to look at it and be like, you're putting Final Fantasy VII as decent? Excuse me? Did you play the original? I was like, no, I didn't play the original. So because of that, actually, you know, I'm going to go have not tried it. Because I haven't played the definitive Final Fantasy VII. I've played the remake, which is like half of the, not even, I think it's like a third of what 7 is. So we're gonna be smart and not do that. Watch Dogs is good. I honestly liked Watch. This is gonna... Watch Dogs is good. I'm sorry, guys. Watch Dogs is a good title. People bitch so hard about Aiden Pierce as a protagonist because they're like, he's not likable, he's bland, he's one note. Dude, Aiden Pierce is a complete psycho. You are not supposed to like him. He's not supposed to be likable at all. He's a hermit. He is a literal hermit. Look at it through, like, the thing is, though, is when you say that, then you go, well, who's the character then that you root for? And the thing is that there is no character that you root for in this story, I don't think. Honestly, unless it's Jordy. And the fact that I remember Jordy says something about this fucking game. Because I haven't touched this game in literally years. I've not touched this. Since my last video that I made about this game, I think it was in 2018. Let me see. I made a video about Watch Dogs because of how much I actually kind of liked it. Let's see. 3 years ago. This was 3 years ago I played Watch Dogs. And I still remember the side character's name. I don't remember the wife's name. I think it's Sarah, but I could be wrong. I think it's Sarah. I don't remember the kid's name for the life of me. I think it's Jason, but I could be getting it confused with Heavy Rain. But like, dude, I don't know. The gunplay in that was fucking awesome. It was literally John Wick Simulator with the amount of shit that you do. Because once you realize that you're able to literally slow down time, no matter, and do the most crazy shit. Like, I'm talking, you're able to do stuff like throw a grenade into the air and then slow down time and then shoot the grenade, causing it to explode and rain shrapnel down on a certain area. And then there's custom animations per weapon that, or custom melee animations per weapon that you're holding. That shit's awesome to me. I love that kind of stuff, right? Okay, moving on, because, well, I mean, why I'm putting it in good, not higher, is everything else that was surrounding the fucking game. The visuals kind of stink, not gonna lie. It's very gray. And yeah, the story's not memorable. Although I think the characters get shit on way more than they deserve. And I think the gameplay's fun, but it's not like on the level of like these titles up here. It's definitely gonna be like down here. Okay. Uncharted 3, I'm gonna put in decent. That is due to, once again, I was super hyped for this. I even bought the fucking collector's edition after I bought the main edition of the game because I wanted to have the ring that came with it. Because you got Drake's ring with the collector's edition. I just wanted that so bad, I remember. But looking back on it, oh my god, the gameplay fucking sucks. I remember I got the Uncharted collection where you can replay all the previous games, and there wasn't a single one of them that I actually found fun to play. The most fun one to play, honestly, was Uncharted 4, which then makes me reconsider putting it into... I'm gonna put that up to good and this in decent, because honestly, visuals and the game is fun. I replayed Uncharted 4, I didn't replay any of the Uncharted 3s, or Uncharted 1, 2, or 3. Never did. Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll leave that with that. Metal Gear Rising, oh my god, Metal Gear Rising is fucking great. I loved this game so much. This game fucks so hard. This soundtrack's so kick-ass. I might even put it up here, yeah. It's fucking amazing for what it's doing. It's a character action game where it just takes the Metal Gear series and just fucking turns it on itself. The final boss is the President of the United States that is roided out of his mind while a theme song plays about how you two are similar. And it has like the most butt rock lyrics. Yeah, it's amazing. I fucking love this game. No more needs to be spoken. This is where I'm gonna get a lot of flack. I don't like the Soulsborne games, but I am willing to admit that Bloodborne is up there in terms of just, if I had to pick a Soulsborne game, I'd probably pick Bloodborne or Sekiro. Just because, like, goddamn, Bloodborne's world is so cool. I fucking love this eldritch shit so much. It's such, like, watching Vidya, I think is his name, watching the descriptions that he gives for, like, the world and how it's all interconnected, or not interconnected, but how it's, not even how it evolves, but more so how it has evolved. Like, the remnants of what it once was and what it turned into eventually is so interesting, and the boss designs are so cool too. Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain is... it's good. Yeah, it's good. The gameplay is the thing that carries this game. The story kind of sucks. The whole man against the world, or man you sold the world twist, I don't know. People called it out before the game even got released because of how very, very obvious it was. I mean, you have Kiefer Sutherland playing, what, 2 characters? He plays boss and then your, like, fake boss, right? So because of that, and plus Solid Snake, Big Boss, your version of Big Boss has like so few lines. Kiefer Sutherland does nothing with the role. He just basically grunts and says like one-word answers most of the time. But like I said, the gameplay in this game is what carries it. I went back to this game multiple times after the story was done, loaded into the open world, and would just go through bases and just find creative ways to deal with it, because it has that Metal Gear energy where it's like, I can go into a box, I can stand up in said box, causing it to stand upright, and on said box there's like a poster of a woman, right, in a bikini, and that causes guards to run over to you and like oogle over you and drop their guns. And then you can like jump out of the box, tackle them to the ground, and then interrogate them while laying on the ground next to them. Like, such a fucking cool game. So I'm lumping all of these Lego games into one, honestly. Because I did play Lego Star Wars 2: The Original Trilogy. That was the one that I played the most of, and it was good. I played it on the GameCube. I played on the GameCube and the PSP, I think, where it was entertaining. And me being a Star Wars kid, that was definitely like a go-to purchase immediately, because I actually really enjoyed the first game too. Although I do remember I had much better experiences with the sequel than I did with the first, because of the fact that I beat the sequel. I didn't beat the first one because I don't know, I got bored of it. Shadow of the Colossus. I don't actually remember if I did play this. I've seen so many playthroughs of it. Did I actually sit down? No, I don't think I did. I think I watched playthroughs of it, and I don't think that's fair to judge if I haven't actually touched it. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is... I'm gonna put this in good category. It is, without a doubt, my favorite of like the original Assassin's Creeds, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I'm talking Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations, where like those ones lumped together. Then Brotherhood is my favorite out of those. But here's the thing, I can't really give you a reason why. I just remember I had such positive things with Brotherhood. Not to say that I didn't have them with the other games too. Actually, I didn't really like Revelations that much. But 2, comparatively, I feel like 2 and Brotherhood are like on the same platform for me in terms of enjoyment. I think probably the story of 2 is most likely better than Brotherhood, because I remember the story of 2 for the most part. I can't really remember the story of Brotherhood. I think it's literally just that Bajornio's guy's son, I think, is the guy, and he wants the apple. And then you go to his base, or he comes to your base, kills your uncle, and then you have to go back and get revenge or some shit. Yeah. But I remember having good vibes with this. I liked it. I don't have a decent vibe with this. I have like a fun vibe. And the cool thing with the like closing your hand and the arrows raining from the sky shit that you could do once you get enough assassin buddies is really cool. Grand Theft Auto 4, I have such a weird relationship with. Reason being is that I remember I got this game twice. I got this game once, played through the campaign, and then sold it. And then my buddy was like, dude, we should come play the online because Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to get released relatively soon. This is like months away. But he's like, you should come play GTA Online with us. And then I remember I played GTA Online, GTA 4 Online, so much with this guy. I remember, and this guy was kind of a weird dude. But I remember having good positive vibes. And honestly, I kind of like GTA 4 a little bit more than I did GTA 5 story-wise. I just liked the grittiness of 4 compared to 5, which is more fun-loving, where, like, Grand Theft Auto 4 feels more like a Grand Theft Auto game than Grand Theft Auto 5 does, to me, because I feel like it's the last game that really embodied that, like, PS2 era of the Grand Theft Auto games. And then GTA 5 was like next-gen Grand Theft Auto, where it's going to basically be a Marvel movie. There's going to be quips all the time. The characters are going to be like really like fun-loving. And we're really going to blow you away with spectacle. And I feel like the more like quieter pacing of 4 and the characters of 4 especially, like fucking Roman, dear God, is really good. Metal Gear Solid 3, I haven't played too much of, but I did play it. And I remember it is probably my favorite of the original Metal Gear Solid games. That I'm talking Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, 4, by the way, when I do say that. But Metal Gear Solid 3 was definitely my most favorite. It's just I can't put a reason on why. For me, it was the gameplay as well as the perspective change. It switching to third person was definitely a game changer for me, and me actually enjoying it. Because, like, remember, I grew up from 1998 up, so I grew through the 2000s, right? So I obviously wasn't actively playing Metal Gear Solid 1 or 2 when they came out. I was playing those after, and by the time I was old enough and actually playing games that I understood to a level, like Metal Gear Solid 3, or Metal Gear Solid 2, sorry, I was already playing games that were in like the third person perspective that had camera controls, right? So I'm going through this, right, at this brand new pace where I'm like, what the hell's going on? What are these controls? They feel awful. And I feel like that sort of tainted my enjoyment of the past games, which in of itself is sort of, that's just down to timing and the advancement of the industry, right? That's not the game's fault at all. That's not what I'm saying. But personally, my enjoyment, though, did get impacted by that top-down camera. Now, I did like the top-down camera. Some of the angles in 2, especially like the ship, the first level with the ship in 2, had some really neat camera work. And I was never in a situation where I couldn't tell what was going on. But just still, having that like added level of immersiveness, being able to control the camera on your own and peek around corners like in 3 is definitely an improvement. So for that, I'm gonna put Metal Gear Solid 3 in very good. Smite I played a little bit of, and I thought it was kind of decent. I didn't think much of it. It's basically just third-person League of Legends, and it's just like blah. And I hate League of Legends, I should clarify. Assassin's Creed Black Flag is without a doubt one of my most favorite Assassin's Creed games. I'm gonna actually put it in very good. That is due to the story and the atmosphere. Literally the story, atmosphere, and the soundtrack. If you haven't heard the Black Flag soundtrack and you're a fan of like orchestral scores, especially like the Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack, fucking listen to this score. You will like it, I swear to God, you will. You will enjoy it. Doom. I loved Doom's OST. I love the visuals of it, and I love the pace. It's just the gameplay loop gets very repetitive after a while. Going room after it, Doom is a game that you sit down. Doom is an after work game. You know what I mean? Doom is a game that you come home from a long day at work and you have like 4 hours before you need to go to sleep. You turn on Doom because you know that gameplay loop is not going to get repetitive within those maybe 3 to 4 hours that you play, but it's going to start approaching it by that end point time, and then you're going to be like, oh well, I gotta go to bed, and then you get up the next morning, go to work, come back, and then you play it tomorrow and it feels fresh again, right? and that is down to the pacing of the fights. So it is definitely not something that you would play repeatedly over and over and over, I think, at least personally, because that's not what I did. I played it once and I was just like, okay, yeah. And mind you, I played it like I played it through a weekend, right? So I was just like, I got very, very, very tired of it after a while. But that being said, the soundtrack though fucking carries this game on its back. So I'm gonna put it in good. It is good. Borderlands 2 is decent. I don't like any of the Borderlands games for that matter, and this is going to be the highest rating that any of these games get, because I remember I had a very good experience playing online with a buddy of mine at the time, and that's it. That's all I can really say. It's a Borderlands game. You know what they are. You get a shit ton of guns that are pretty much all the same looking, except they have different stats, and you level up a character by giving them crazy abilities that are character specific. That's all it is. And at the end of the day, the story's fun. I find the stories to be a little bit too much at times. With its like, I don't want to use vulgarness because I feel like that's sort of high and mighty, but it gets kind of old after a while. Final Fantasy 15, I really liked. This is a game that I thought I would be mixed on. And I wasn't joking in my video that I uploaded not too long ago where I cried during the ending because I fucking bawled. I was so sad by this ending because of how well done it was. It felt earned. It wasn't like the ending was something I could tell that it wasn't on the back burner. It was something that was most likely worked on for them, and it definitely took a cheap shot with the photo. I feel like that's what most likely carried that for me, was the picture choice at the very end where you get to take a picture with you. But when all is said and done though, the score is really good. Once again, if you're into orchestral scores, look up the Final Fantasy 15 soundtrack, and honestly by that note, look up the entire Final Fantasy fucking OST. Just look at it all. They're great. Yeah, so take a look at it. It's definitely great. You will most likely enjoy it if you like slow burn kind of bonding games where you get to grow with your party and stuff. I found, because mind you, I was not an RPG person. Not until pretty recently actually was I into RPGs, as in like games where it's like you're building your character and you're also growing a party alongside you. Like, I guess they're called, I don't know if that's just specifically JRPGs. I know there's that, I know it embodies more than that. But JRPG specifically, because this was also my first Final Fantasy game that I ever played. Keep that in mind when I'm putting in the rating. Because, I don't know. Watch Dogs 2 is great. Watch Dogs 2 is honestly great. And I know it sounds weird because this game is the most try-hard out of them all. Actually, no, Legion fucking takes the cake for that. But Watch Dogs 2 is so much actual fun to play. Because it's a fantasy about being a douchebag. It's a fantasy about being this hipster douchebag. All the characters are like literally take one personality and put it into a character, and then that's every character, right? Wrench is the try-hard kind of edgy nerd geek hipster dude, right? You got what was it, Satara, I think is her name, and she's the artist, right? She has a vision. And then you have one guy, I can't remember his name, but he has autism. That's literally one of his character traits, is that he just has autism. And they do it respectfully too, which is nice. And he's not like, he's equally as capable as everybody else is too, which is great in terms of representation, right? I can't remember the other dude's name. Well, Marcus obviously is fucking, he's a riot to listen to. The cutscenes in this game, I'm also forgetting the other guy. What's his name? Fuck, what is his name? I don't know. He works at the fucking Google place, and he had like some hilarious dialogue with that. Hey, Betty, like that. If you know the game, you know what I'm talking about. That guy. It's Tara Josh. Fuck. Oh, Josh is the guy with autism. Satara, Josh, Wrench. Who's the other guy? Oh fuck, whatever. But the cutscenes in that game, if you watch them, they are so well directed and well voice acted. It's fucking incredible. The way that they've managed to make those characters legit actually likable is beyond me. but I like them. I like them as characters. Now that's not to say that, because remember, Watch Dogs didn't have likable protagonists, and that's okay because you weren't supposed to like them. This is a game where you were meant to like the protagonist, and you do like him, which is great. Now that just adds more to like the, I don't know, the enjoyment, the more like kind of childish nature of the game, where it's like, dude, the melee weapon is it's literally a pool ball attached to a string that you can then swing around like a fucking, like a demolition ball and smack people in the head with it. It's fucking great. Dark Souls 3, it's good. It's good. Actually, yeah, I'll put in good. I played a lot of this game. Not that I wanted to, mind you, but I played a lot of it. Now, Dark Souls 3 was a game where, I don't know, I never got enjoyment on its own. I always had to like look elsewhere and like through other people for it. And that is why I find it sort of, I don't know. I wouldn't want to play Dark Souls 3 again though. But decent, actually. Yeah, I'll put in decent. And that same goes for, oh wait, I put in bad by accident. No. So decent is gonna be Dark Souls. Actually, no, I never played Dark Souls 1. Fuck, I thought it was Dark Souls 2. Need for Speed I've never touched. I don't know what that one is. Because I played Underground, I've played Most Wanted. I don't know what Need for Speed on its own is, unless this literally is legit just the first Need for Speed game, in which, no, I have not played it. Shadow of War, I have played. Shadow of War it's good. Obviously, the Nemesis system makes a return, where it is a lot of fun to create your own stories. There's a great video by writing in games. It's either writing in games or Game Maker's Toolkit. I can't remember. Probably Game Maker's Toolkit. They did a great video about why the Shadow of War system is fucking beautiful. Enemies can straight up break your sword. If you get defeated, they will literally break your sword, and then they will remember that they broke your sword and talk shit to you and be like, oh, I see you found another one. Like that shit's just cool. Devil May Cry 5. Just getting the very first masterpiece. I fucking love this game so much. Dear God, Devil May Cry 5 is a fucking masterwork of class of the character action game. Oh my God, play this game. Soundtrack A+, gameplay A+, story A+, fucking what else? The only thing, if there was like an S rating right here, like a beautiful God-given game, it wouldn't get it. It would stay in masterpiece, and that's literally just due to V. I don't like playing as V. I don't think anybody did. Yeah, I never played Soul Calibur either. Assassin's Creed Odyssey I didn't play because I'm smart with my money. Mortal Kombat 11 I have played actually. Mortal Kombat 11 gets the good. Mortal Kombat 11, and honestly, Mortal Kombat Injustice, those are games that I wish other fighting games would take inspiration from. Because that's how you do a story mode. That's how you do extra game modes. That's how you do character interaction. Like, dear God, the amount of effort that's put into the most what's the fucking word for it? Not meaningless, but the most, like, kind of side shit. Like, there's specific character interactions between character A and B entering the fight. Like, imagine you're just with your buddy, right? You're playing a 1 versus 1, sitting on the same couch. There are still dialogues that are basically like, hey, you have a backstory with this character, so the two characters are they're gonna talk to each other before the fight and taunt each other while making reference to that exact thing. And that's for every single character and matchup. That's incredible. And it's not just one, there's multiple per character. It's fucking beyond me how they managed to convince these voice actors to probably sit there for probably months recording dialogue after dialogue of each matchup that they could possibly come across. Is insane to me. And that's why I think, honestly, see, the one thing though is I don't like playing the games. I'm not good at them. I don't like the way they play. They're very buffer intensive, where you put all of your moves out immediately and then you just go with it. But like, fuck, I almost want to put it in very good, just because it's like, oh, and the fatalities and the animations too are so fucking cool. You know, I'm gonna give it very good. So what if I suck at it? It's still a fucking great experience. Even if you suck at it, like me, I still played it because I'm like, I love watching these characters interact with each other. I like watching the animations. watching it live is a complete other thing. Sonic Fox is a fucking god at this game. And he's just like a great fucking personality for the game too. Oh my god, I love that guy. Okay. Modern Warfare. I think Modern Warfare is good. I didn't play any of the multiplayer. Keep that in mind. I never touched the multiplayer. I never touched Warzone. I don't know if it even had a zombies mode. Never touched that. But I played the campaign. And honestly, I liked it. I liked the campaign. I feel like that house mission is going to get talked a lot. It is going to be the new Call of Duty 4 nuke and airport scene. It is that equivalent to it. I think they warn you about that scene too. Like, they do like give you the warning at the start of most of these new Modern Warfare games. Like Modern Warfare 2 had the warning that you could skip the no Russian mission. And I feel like Modern Warfare had that for the house mission. But just that mission alone was so fucking cool. The voice acting and the cutscenes are so well done. It's absolutely insane. Their animators need to be paid more, dear God. I've actually never played the original Doom. League of Legends, fucking horrible. Get out of my sight. And it's not, I'm not just saying that because it's like, oh man, like, I'm bad at it or I had bad experiences. No. I just hate the way this fucking game plays and I hate the community around it. Fuck this. Honestly, I'm half tempted to put Overwatch in the same category too. I think Overwatch is just, it's not bad, really bad or horrible. It's just boring. That's what it is. I feel like there needs to be a new one that's just called boring. And just put it there, because Overwatch deserves to be in the boring rank. And I fucking hate people who play Overwatch. I'm sorry. Everyone who plays Overwatch constantly, I just already don't like you. I know that sounds horrible, but dear God, I used to work at an esports bar. I'm sure I mentioned it multiple times at this point. And we had an Overwatch league that would come in. And they were, without a doubt, the most toxic, the most messy, the most disrespectful, and the most obnoxious people I have ever met while working there. 100%. So much so that in the back, in the staff room, we had literal files on people of the shit that they did because we were trying to get them banned from the restaurant. Like, that's how bad these players were. And so, if we're looking at the game itself too, the game's fucking boring. It's literally 2 game modes? What, 2 game modes? And you have multiple heroes, and at this point now, there's characters that are banned from Pro League in an esports game. They're literally just straight up banned because of how broken they are. Like, bro, you can't actually have this happening at this point. You need to have balance. And Overwatch 2 is coming out, and I couldn't give a shit less about it. Dear God. Alright, God of War 3, I played. It was good. I don't remember much from it, that's why I'm putting it here, but I do remember that I had a good time playing it. Dragon Ball FighterZ was decent. Or actually, no, I'd put it in good too. It's very flashy, and I like the way the game feels. I like it a lot. Now, that being said, I also really enjoy that being said, I have never watched Dragon Ball Z in my life. So I can't speak for like the story or anything like that because I've only literally played the game hands-on 1v1ing people at this bar. That's the only time I've ever played it, but I do remember I had no idea what I was doing and I still had fun. That is a commendable thing for a fighting game to accomplish. If you are able to not know what you're doing at all, pick up the game fresh and still have a good time and feel like you're achieving something, that's good, in my opinion. Because that at least it is carrying you through and at least giving you some semblance of enjoyment. That can't be said for games like Tekken 7, probably Street Fighter, I would assume too. Even Mortal Kombat to an extent. Keep in mind, I'm sure if I spent more time with this game, it would probably be higher up on the list. Perhaps. Who knows? But I don't want to give it a decent or bad rating because of my lack of experience, and the times that I did have with it were good. So that's why I'm giving it this. Far Cry 3 is my favorite Far Cry game. Straight up, it is. The close one is Far Cry 2. It is literally like Far Cry 3 and then like Far Cry 2 is like right there. Like literally just a little bit below. Now the reason why it's higher is because I have a much better memories of this game. I remember this is the first game I ever got a capture card to record for. I remember I asked for a capture card for Christmas when I was a kid. And this was the first game that I tried to record a Let's Play for. And I had no dialogue, I had no mic or anything. It was literally just me playing it. But I remember I loved the game so much that I wanted to go back and I wanted to actually like show my enjoyment with it. Didn't last long, and it's still uploaded to this day. You'll never find the channel. It's there though. I can confirm. Maybe an incentive in the future will be to expose my previous channels. I'd be open to that actually. Wait, wasn't Dark Souls already on here? Right? Maybe you've put it back. I mean, Tetris is fun. It's a decent, fun game. It's not something I'd ever like sit down and play repetitively. Fortnite. Never played Pokemon. The God of War remake. It was good. If this is not in order, but honestly, the way it should go is God of War and then God of War 3 being better. I remember I had a better experience playing God of War 3 than I did with God of War remake. Because it's a character action game and the camera shoves so close up your fucking ass that you can't see anything. And the only hit indicators that you have are little arrows and your kids screaming at you that there's something behind you. Bro, I wish the camera would show me the thing that was behind me because I'd like to be able to maneuver my character without him also turning. Because it's nice being able to attack something that's ahead of you and being able to look at something behind you, because sure, that's not realistic, but at the end of the day, that shit just makes the game more enjoyable because you're able to combo more into shit. Now, speaking of combos, there's literally like, what, 3 moves that combo into each other? And it's like the one where it's like you throw your axe at one point and you fucking get it back. There's like special moves that you can do. They're not like looped into Bro, no. And I remember the story being okay. Like, not good or bad, it was just okay. Now, the same thing goes for Grand Theft Auto 5. Honestly, I'm gonna put GTA 4 up here, because I didn't have a decent time with Grand Theft Auto 5. I had a good time with it, but fucking Grand Theft Auto 4 was very good. Grand Theft Auto 5, I don't need to fucking say a word on it, you already know everything about it, but my personal take on it was, like I said, my Grand Theft Auto 4 thing, was that GTA 5 just kind of felt more balls to the wall, more like, you know, I don't know, not explosions everywhere, but more like Marvel-ified, and I liked the tamer sort of style of the previous GTA games more, personally. Horizon Zero Dawn is also good. I liked it. I feel, though, that it suffered due to the fact that I played it on a PS4. I genuinely feel that. Now that this game is released on PC, I obviously might have a change of heart. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna spend my fucking money on that thing. No, not only am I now saving money, but that just seems like a fucking waste. But the way that Horizon Zero Dawn advertised itself versus how you actually play it is hilarious, because they advertise you literally like sliding under mechs and then shooting them while underneath them. But dude, imagine trying to do that shit with a gamepad. It's not happening. What happened 90% of the time was you jump in place and aim, because then that gives you slow-mo. Or you can use the focus thing that takes up a resource, but it's still slow-mo. Jumping and aiming doesn't take up any of the bar, but doing the focus thing does. However, the gameplay loop is fun. Always having to find shit to scavenge arrows always keeps the game enjoyable to a certain extent, and it makes your progression feel a lot more earned, because by the end of the game you have like, what, you can carry like 100 something arrows compared to the 10 that you start out with. And honestly, it's a lot of fun. I liked it. Yakuza 0, guess what? It's amazing. Oh, actually, no, it's a masterpiece. Sorry. Yakuza 0 is fucking amazing. It's one of the best games of all time. 100%. Play it. Amazing story, amazing OST, amazing combat, amazing characters, amazing side content, amazing side quests, amazing mini games. Fuck, what else is there? Honestly, I'd put Yakuza ahead of Devil May Cry 5. I would play. This is one of the best games of all fucking time, genuinely. Injustice 2 is gonna get the exact same rating as Mortal Kombat 11, right? It's gonna get the exact same rating, and it's literally for the exact same reason. It's just the amount of effort that's put into it, the animations, the story, and the voice acting, like literally all the things that were great about Mortal Kombat 11 is just in Injustice 2. It's just DC now. Lego Indiana Jones I played, but I don't remember anything from it. Listen, I don't know. Lego Star Wars I remember I played. It's good. I liked it. Super Mario Galaxy I never played. Minecraft. This is a tough one. Because I grew up playing Minecraft. I fucking liked it a lot. I feel like it is the modern day Lego. But keep in mind, I grew up in an era where we had Lego, and I had Lego. I used a lot of Lego. I was in an era where I was playing video games actively before Minecraft came out. And then when Minecraft came out, it was like the new fucking coolest thing. The fucking, or not, maybe the beta got released when because I remember I watched Tobuscus videos literally daily because he was uploading Minecraft content that was, in my opinion at the time, very funny and out of this world. And when I first played it, I will always remember the first house I built, because I remember I called my mom into my room. Or I played it on a laptop, and I think I moved the laptop into the living room, and I showed her I made a literal building. It was horrible. I made a building out of cobblestone, and it had like 10 rooms, and then a bed in each one of them, and I showed it to her, and I felt so proud of myself. I remember. And then I ventured into the world, and then I got lost, and I never found the house again. And that was the last I remember seeing that specific world. But those memories, man, I will always remember for the rest of my fucking life. And I think honestly it deserves the amazing thing for that. Because that is a 1 in a million experience that I had by myself that I'm sure millions of other people had. I'm 100% sure. It was groundbreaking, the amount of shit that this game did at that time. Nowadays, I don't find myself playing it. I feel like it's just because I've played it so much when I was younger. Not to say it's bad now. I'm sure it's fine. And if I never played it before and I started playing it now, I would have the exact same experience, the same positive experience that I had then. And that's why I think it deserves that rating. Overcooked 2 stresses me out. It honestly does. I feel like that's why I would never be able to be a chef, just because I would never be able to deal with that pressure. Pac-Man, fuck, I mean, sure, it's good, it's not bad. Obviously, this and Tetris deserve to be in their own thing, I guess. Once again, never played a Pokemon game in my life. I've actually never played Pong. Actually, I played Pong on like one of those like desk arcade, the table arcades that they sometimes have at restaurants. I don't know, it's decent. It's Pong, what are you gonna do, right? Portal 2 is decent. Portal 1's decent. They're not my cup of tea. Jackbox Party Pack, once again, it's decent on its own, great with friends. Resident Evil 2 Remake is very good. I'm actually going to be playing it later today. I want to go back and replay it because I've had a great experience playing it. I've never played the original RE2, so going and playing RE2 Remake was really cool because it was just like, oh wow, like I see where they perhaps may have taken inspiration from like the past, but then I can see this sort of the new RE engine definitely carrying everything. Beautiful. RE4 I keep wanting to play, and I keep actively playing it, and then I stop playing it because, I don't know, I hate the way it controls, to be honest. It's good. It's good. It's not bad. I've seen full playthroughs of it, and I can confirm that the game is good. However, going with my rule that I stated earlier, but this is my personal opinion, I think the controls honestly fucking suck. They really do. So we'll go good. Yeah, we'll stay in good. Not very good, great, or amazing, but it's good. It's a good time. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Very good. It's the one Souls game that I actually wanted to play again. I played it multiple times, actually. I played it twice, and I'm now doing my 3rd playthrough like years later, and it feels fresh to me. It still has all the issues that I hate with the Souls games, and the whole difficulty shit still pisses me off, the whole difficulty elitism bullshit. But that being said, Sekiro does really appeal to me now, especially with my like nights where I just want to like explore a world. It's a good time, and the boss fights too look really cool. I honestly, nothing feels better than perfect parrying one of those dudes with the spinny blades, because it's like ding 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 ding. Oh, it fucking feels great. Super Metroid never played. Super Mario 2 never played or can't remember. Super Mario Galaxy 2 Try, I remember was very good. Skyrim is without mods, this game is kind of, it's decent. Without mods, it's decent. Or it's good. It's good without mods because the soundtrack and the exploration still do a very good job of keeping you enthralled. But I can't say it's definitely the worst out of the good tier. Definitely that. Last of Us 1. Last of Us 1 is very, very good. Actually, honestly, it's great. Last of Us 1 is fucking amazing. Not amazing, but it's great. I really enjoyed the story, honestly. The story was the gripping thing with me. I remember my dad played this. He got it because he played the Uncharted games, and he's a big like Tom Cruise guy, so he loves like the action movie shit. So he of course would love the Uncharted games. So when Naughty Dog announced that they were doing like a new game, of course my dad, he was like, yeah, I'll play it. I don't remember if he ever beat it, because I think it was too much. I think it was a little too much for him. But I remember I went back and I played it start to finish. Had a bunch of mixed emotions throughout. Not bad mixed emotions, but like mixed emotions, like conflictions about this. Like, what is gonna happen? Or do I agree with this? Or like, who is this character? Do I trust them? That kind of stuff. And that's what I really enjoyed about it. Breath of the Wild. Thank you for introducing Rivali to my life. That's all I'm gonna say. Is this Wind Waker or the other game? The one with the... I think this is Wind Waker. And no, I didn't mean to play it in really bad immediately. I'm just trying to get a better sense for what this is. I think this is Wind Waker, because there's that other one with like Four Swords Adventures one that has that similar aesthetic, that cell shade. Wind Waker's great. I'm playing it right now again. Not again, more so. I'm playing it right now because I played it first way back when I was living in Strathroy, because my roommate was like, yo, we need to race, because he speedruns the game apparently. And I'm like, I've never even played it once. So he played it, and then I played it up until the first island, and then I think I stopped just because I was like, I had other shit on my plate and I never finished it. But going back to it and looking at the fucking graphics, the gorgeous music, oh man, this game, it feels like a fucking, it's so good. I don't know. It's such a relaxing time. Is this Ocarina of Time? I've actually never played Ocarina of Time. Uncharted 2 is gonna get it's gonna get probably what all of these other Uncharted games kind of are lumped into. They're all just sort of the same. The gunplay doesn't feel that good either. Walking Dead, I did play. It's very good, and it's very good only because of the story. And I think that honestly, for me, that's enough to put into the very good category. Because goddamn, that Lee's story in that game is beautiful. The new ones, everything after the first game kind of blows. I've heard good things about the sequel, but keep in mind, I've only played the sequel's first episode. Hey, Boxy Bear, how's it going? It has been a while. We're doing a full tier list right now. We're doing a bunch of wacky shit. And you caught me in the middle of talking about The Walking Dead. So The Walking Dead, like I said, fucking Lee's story was gorgeous, but like everything after the first episode, like the first season, I should say, was just not that good. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the first season. The first season was very good. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is great. Everything from the story, the atmosphere, the characters, the world, beautiful, right? So I guess I already told you about my name change. Hard to keep track. Perhaps. Oh yeah, Yakuza 0 gets fucking top. Yakuza 0 is one of the best games ever fucking made. I've played it so many times. Used to be Juju Box. You wanna know how I remembered who you are, by the way? It was the emote that you used. It was the D Viper wave. That was what it was. Yep. I remember that emote anywhere. So I'm actually currently... It's funny you get to Yakuza because that's the next game we're talking about. We're actually talking about two back to back. So Yakuza 4, I'm currently playing Yakuza 4. I'm actually playing it right on Steam. You can see right here. We're playing it right now. 9.1 hours in. This is where it's gonna get a bit weird though, because I'm kind of weird on it. So I'll have to finish Shenmue 2 before getting into Yakuza. Oh man, I would honestly just fucking jump into Yakuza. It's so fucking good. It is so good. But regardless, let's get back to it. Yakuza 4, it is good. Great? It's okay. Here's the thing. The story kind of fucking is not going anywhere right now. I haven't beaten it, but the story isn't going anywhere right now. I am currently playing as Tanimura, and his combat, the combat in this whole game is great. Was Ultra Pog when it was announced 3 to 5 were coming to the Game Pass and PC, implying it was coming to those platforms. I freaked out, and 6 coming next month. I am definitely going to be getting 6 when it comes out, because I didn't finish 6 and I wanted to before I ended up getting another computer. But I want Judgment to come out on PC. Judgment, if it came out on PC, I would nut. That is my favorite Ryoga Gotoku game so far. Literally just because of the story and the characters and the combat and the OST. The OST in Judgment is my favorite. It is definitely my favorite out of all of them. That and Yakuza 6 have a banger OST, as well as Like a Dragon, which I have played and beaten live on stream as well. Yakuza 4, though, I'm going to put it in very good. It is... Actually, no, it's going to go in great. Because, once again, the combat's amazing, the OST is amazing, the characters are fucking incredible once again. It's just the story is not as good as Yakuza 0, and dare I say, even fucking Kiwami 2. Where did I put Kiwami 2? Kiwami 2 is here? Honestly, I'm going to move Kiwami 2 up. Yeah, because they're about on the same level, and me going through Yakuza 4 and playing Kiwami 2 more recently has sort of changed my opinion a little bit on that too. Yakuza Kiwami 1, this is the thing. Do not play Yakuza 0 and then immediately play Kiwami 1. Don't do it. It will ruin your experience. What I guess happened is they had a team dedicated to porting all the remakes to Xbox and PC, then development of 7 was suffering, so they stopped after 0 and 2 to help finish 7 and returned. Yeah, that's probably what happened. Word of advice though, do not play Yakuza Kiwami immediately after finishing 0. It suffers from the you had all your upgrades from the previous game, now we're going to take those away and you have to re-earn them. But because of how enjoyable it is to get upgrades in Yakuza 0, or in Yakuza 0, compared to what it is in Kiwami. Kiwami is so fucking boring about the way that it does that. It's just skill points. But, you know, in Kiwami, or in Yakuza 0, it's like money that you get everywhere. You get money everywhere, so you can always upgrade something. You never feel limited in what you can upgrade, right? You can save, but if you don't want to save and you just be like, fuck, I have so much money here, just start upgrading, right? And it'll work out and you'll get some cool shit. Every upgrade in that game feels like it impacts the way that you play it, which is the best part. But then immediately going that to playing Kiwami, kind of sucks, because it's just like, okay, now I need to earn experience to then level up, and then I get 1 point that I can then put into 4 different things, and then these lead into this leads into that, and it's just, especially immediately after finishing 0, it's just boring as fuck. Doesn't that game have a 10 billion gold statue that literally does nothing? Yeah, it does. That's assuming you do everything in the game, you've bought every single upgrade, and because the game is so fucking awesome, you'll probably still keep playing it. You can literally just buy a 10 billion yen statue and put it in your office for both characters, mind you, and they have different wallets. I'm gonna put Kiwami in, it's gonna go in very good, because once again, the soundtrack's great, the original story too is good, but here's the thing, they took a lot of weird turns with the side stories because it uses Yakuza 0's engine, as well as its like pacing for the side content. Some of it feels extremely out of place. But is the upgrade system like the original? I don't believe so. I believe it is semi-modernized, but it's still not like Yakuza 0 levels of like perfect, which Yakuza 0 is perfect in the way it is. Apex Legends, I have literally no opinion on, so I'm gonna put it here. Celeste I've never played. I don't even know what this is. What is that? Chrono Trigger, I think? Never played it. Dishonored 1 and 2, I'm gonna put in the same rating, and I'm just gonna briefly talk about them. Dishonored 1 and 2 are just sort of like, they're definitely spiritual successors to the Thief games. The Thief games are fucking great, but that being said, there are some like glaring things that I find with the Dishonored series that I just can't get myself to be into. And I think that's just the way I play, because the way that I play is if the game is going to give me an option to get a good or a bad ending, I'm always going to want the good ending. That's just the way I am. But the way that you get the good ending in these games is you don't kill anybody, or you try not to kill anybody, you don't do any dastardly evil shit. But from what I've heard, the dastardly evil and murdering of these games is the fun part. So I've never exposed myself to the fun part, and I can't go and do the murder. I just can't do it, personally. So I'm not going to dock the game points for it. I'm honestly just going to put it in the good category, both of them, because even the stealth in those games is still fun. But I'm sure I would have more enjoyment if I were to go back and do an evil playthrough. It's just I couldn't look inside myself and actually do it. Coming from... I tried Apex a few times with roommates, was meh. Coming from someone who loved Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 is great. Just don't like the predatory business model, like service with seasonal items, rotations with shut loot boxes. Exactly. It just feels very played out at this point. Firewatch was good. I played it over the course of a weekend, actually, and I remember bits and pieces from it. I remember having a very frustrating time towards the end due to just the amount of invisible walls everywhere in this game. But the reason I was frustrated was because the girl is leaving the place. The helicopter has arrived, and she's leaving, and we'll never get to meet her unless we get to that helipad quickly. And it's saying that there's like time ticking down. The helicopter's leaving soon. So me getting caught in these objects made me very frustrated. But that's good, I guess, in a certain way of thinking, because I was very invested in the story. For Honor is bad. I don't like For Honor at all. Inside I've never played. I've heard it's okay. Binding of Isaac I've never played. Jedi Fallen Order is honestly, it's good. This is the thing with Jedi Fallen Order that I really hope they don't follow through with. Not every single game needs to be Souls-like, for fuck's sake. Why the fuck is a Jedi game Souls-like? As in, you die. When did you play it? Didn't have that issue. May have been patched. Which game? For Firewatch? I played it like pretty much right when it came out. So who knows? Maybe it got patched. I don't know. But Jedi Fallen Order, fuck man, why does every game gotta be Souls-like? Yeah, Firewatch, yeah, I played it like right when it came up. So who knows? It may have been patched. But also at the same time, I was trying to beat it through in a weekend, so that could have been my own frustration. But honestly, even if it wasn't for that, I would still put it in the good category. I'm not much into walking simulator games. This story was entertaining, though. I did like the interactions with the characters, though. You and the girl having those conversations is definitely good. But back to Jedi Fallen Order, not every single fucking game needs to be Soulsborne. Why the fuck is a Jedi, like a Star Wars game where you're supposed to be this Jedi? Why am I now dying, respawning at bonfires, and then every enemy has now respawned? And like, oh, I attack and I get my skill point back. Like, fuck, man. I just can't stand that shit. But otherwise, the story's good. I like how it kind of ties itself into the universe. And the ending, if spoilers if you haven't seen it, but the ending with Darth Vader is honestly so kick-ass that I'm willing to put it. I've never played Journey. Left 4 Dead 2 is not my cup of tea. However, I put it in good, actually, because it's not like I didn't have a good time playing it. It's just, it's not for me. I remember I played this game a lot with Wagner Mutt, and playing it with friends definitely adds something. I couldn't see myself playing this game solo. Definitely not. Limbo I've played. It was decent. It wasn't... I don't know. I'm sure we'll get to a game eventually. I don't want to spoil it yet, but I'm sure we'll get to a game which really shows that it's not like I just don't like 2D games, but just, there was just something about Limbo that just didn't really do it for me. I don't know. Mordhau, I have played. I don't know. It was decent. It was kind of like, nah. If you played Limbo, you played Inside, pretty much the same. Yeah, by the sounds of what I've heard from people online too. Yeah, Outlast, it's decent. Once you discover that you're faster than every enemy, your sprint will always leave you faster than like 95% of the enemies. The game is done. The game's scare factor is done. Because what you realize is you open a door, you notice that this area looks pretty open. You notice that there's multiple exits and entrances, and you go, oh, there's a thing here. There's a person here that's gonna try and kill me. Okay, I know this. Running in circles until I randomly found where to go. Exactly. So what I started doing, honestly, was I'm just like, okay, this area looks massive. I'm gonna start sprinting. So when you start sprinting, they start to immediately know where you are because of the sound indicator, because they can hear you. And then I'm like, oh, okay, he's over there, so I'm going to run in this direction now. And then you basically just run until you find out where to go. That's it. And when you realize that, the game just dies. It literally just collapses on itself. It's literally unbelievable. Getting over Open and Funny, I don't even know why the fuck it's on here. I'm just going to put it out as bad just because of how much I hate it. Papers, Please is another game that's hard to kind of qualify. It's good. I like it's an interesting take. It's an interesting thing. I can't think of another border patrol simulator. Resident Evil Biohazard. This is the 7th Resident Evil game. This is the first person one that a lot of people said copied PT, but it really didn't because fucking dear lord, Resident Evil 7 was definitely in production before PT got released, let's be honest. It was good. It was good. For me, the reason why it's not higher is... Actually, I don't know. I didn't get, like, better vibes. I got good vibes, I just didn't get better vibes. The issuing city rule is BS, though? Oh, yeah. In Papers, Please, yeah. Real Shame VR mode is PS4 exclusive, and it dares to have the VR tag on Steam. Oh, does Resident Evil 7 have the VR tag? That's funny. I don't know. There's just something about it that just doesn't... I would never replay it. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll do it eventually, but for the time being, no. Roblox, I've never played. It's not interesting to me. Same goes for... oh, whoops. Actually, I never played Beat Saber either, so that works. Silent Hill 2. Wow, you're getting the amazing rating. Yay! You reported it? Well, I'm sure they're gonna be like, Boxy Bear. Beat Saber Sis must play? I don't have VR anymore, so I cannot do that. But Silent Hill 2, fuck man, that game is fantastic. There's something to be said about the atmosphere given the time that it was released too. What happened? Oh, I sold it to my previous roommate. Because I am not in my previous apartment anymore. I don't know how long it's actually been, but I am not in my old apartment anymore. I have moved. I moved a while ago. So the roommate is no longer here. He still sometimes swing by the streams, but like, yeah. But I sold it to him to help cover rent because I wanted to try and save as much money as I could before I moved back. But yeah, Silent Hill 2 is fucking amazing. Sims 4 I have played. It's just sort of okay. It's decent. It's not as good as 3. Infamous Second Son is very good. I actually really liked it. I think that's probably the same reason I liked Watch Dogs 2. That a lot of people didn't like Watch Dogs 2 is the same reason that I like Infamous Second Son. A lot of people didn't like Second Son. I honestly liked the character. I liked Delson Rowe. He was kind of cool. Sims removed a ton of features and tried to sell it back as DLC. Yeah, that sounds like EA, alright. Is today Wednesday, by the way? Today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, it is Wednesday. Nice. I was like, Jesus. I'm like, it better be hump day. Rocket League, once again, yeah, Rocket League was the one I haven't played. Civilization 5, never played. Marvel Spider-Man is going to be getting an amazing as well. Marvel Spider-Man is, without a doubt, my favorite Spider-Man game ever. And that is coming from a person who was a diehard Spider-Man 2 lover. As in, like, nothing would ever come close to Spider-Man 2 in my eyes, ever. And then Marvel Spider-Man came out. I even call it a fucking masterpiece, honestly. The only thing that I didn't like about it was the Peter Parker, Mary Jane, and the Miles Morales segments. Those were the 3 things in the game. Starts the pizza delivery theme. Oh man, if only fucking Marvel Spider-Man had a pizza delivery simulator. Oh, I'd love it. Honestly, I'm gonna put in masterpiece. I honestly do. I liked the OST a lot. Actually, no, I loved the OST a lot. The main theme of this game is actually really good. And the final boss theme is a beautiful take on the Dr. Octopus theme that's played in the earlier part of the game. Absolutely fucking great. The swinging is so much fun. The combat's a lot of fun. The suits are fucking incredible. Yeah, what more can I say, honestly? Sport I've never played. Wii Sports, I think literally everybody and their dog has played, and it's just the exact same every time you play it. It's good. Honestly, no, it's a bit better. It's very good. I've never had a bad time playing Wii Sports. Can you think of a time where you're like, fuck, I have to play Wii Sports? No. You're always having fun playing Wii Sports. Bully Scholarship Edition is very good. It is one of my favorite Rockstar games, definitely. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Deus Ex I have played, but I didn't play enough of it, so I'm not going to include it. Because I've heard amazing things about it, but I can't comment on literally any of it. I can't. I know I have it installed, though. Human Revolution, on the other hand, I did play a lot of. And I think that it is good. I think it is good. Same with Mankind Divided, honestly. However, I would put Mankind Divided, like, behind Human Revolution. I think Human Revolution is the superior experience. Yeah. Factorio I never played. Fallout 4 is... I don't know, it's kind of bad. I didn't like it. I just found it kind of boring. Especially... A shame they ruined stealth playthroughs in Human Revolution? I'm trying to think, did they? Maybe? I'm trying to think if they threw you into a situation where you're automatically spotted. If you didn't invest in offensive perks, I love that you brought that up because I'm about to defend the shit out of that decision, okay? Here's my fucking thing. Here's my opinion on this. No. Here's why I like that decision. It adds consequence, right? Because I don't want a game to constantly be holding my hand and making sure that I can go through everything perfectly. If a game is like, oh, you're a stealth person, well, now here's this boss. It's not like we didn't give you a choice. You had the choice to invest in combat perks because it is a game where it is you are literally holding a gun 90% of the time, or it's holstered, right? Why didn't you? Oh, well, I invested in stuff. Well, okay, here is that punishment. But at the same time, players who did invest in combat skills found those bosses a fucking cakewalk, right? I like that. I actually enjoy that because it adds consequence for player decision. Because a lot of times in games I find that, oh, we're always going to hold your hand. Boss time? Okay, we're going to make sure that you're able to do it no matter what. And it's not like the bosses were literally impossible to do in stealth. They were possible. They were just more challenging, obviously. I like it. I personally like that. Fallout 3 is good. It's decent. Again, I don't know. I can't wrap my brain around like any of these. Definitely, there's a reason why New Vegas is way up here and then Fallout 3 is way down here for me. And it's because of the story. Because, like I said, New Vegas gameplay-wise is complete garbage. Garbage, trash, bad. But the story and the character decisions that you make and the characters that you interact with basically save that story. Fallout 3 is that, but without the fucking story. So what are you left with? Because I didn't find the story that enjoyable. I found the only locations that I remember from Fallout 3 are Megaton, and that's it. That's literally it. I don't remember a single other thing. Fallout New Vegas, I can name 3 off the top of my head. Fucking, the underground vault where the dude's growing fucking... What the fuck is he even growing? He's like growing a weird monster, like grass moss monsters and shit. Obviously New Vegas. And there's the fucking, shit. Has months of content, but none of it is very polished. Yeah, exactly. Fallout 76 I never played because I'm smart with my money. Far Cry 5... Honestly, I didn't like it. I think it's kind of bad, honestly. I hate the character customization. The fact you're a mute kind of sucks. And I've watched White Light's video on this game where he defends this game tooth and nail. But still, I don't know. It's not personally it's not my cup of tea. It's very bombastic and like I don't know, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just, I didn't find myself actively enjoying any of the game. Heard 2 is much better. Tried it and got soft locked. Nice. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon I never played. World of Warcraft never played. Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I think it's just kind of bad. It's not my cup of tea. Gary's mod is decent in terms of a mod engine. You can save mid-mission. My only save is during a mission where the scripting is bugged. Oh, you can't save mid-mission. My only save is during a mission where the scripting is bugged and you can't abandon. That fucking sucks. Guitar Hero 3 Heroes of Rock. Oh man, what a great OST. What a great set list. My god, what a great set list. Never heard of this. Hitman Blood Money is going way up, honestly, to the amazing category. I loved Hitman Blood Money so much. And it was so cool too, because look at this from my perspective, right? I played Hitman 1 and 2, as in like the new 1 and 2, before touching any of the previous Hitman games. And I was like, I have to really be prepared when I'm going into this. Like, I really need to be prepared going back to Blood Money. I need to lower my expectations. It's not going to be... Dude, I like Hitman Blood Money more than Hitman 1 and 2. Do you know how crazy that is to me? And how enjoyable that was to find out? And the reason why I liked it so much was because Hitman 2 doesn't have mission stories. Or Hitman Blood Money does not have mission stories. I played Hitman 1 and 2, and whenever I saw a mission story pop up, I'm like, oh, time to follow the scripted event, because I want to see what happens and I want to get the experience points for it. Hitman Blood Money, none of that shit. Kill your target. Do it. Go for it. However way you think of, just go do it. I'm talking Hitman 1 and 2, the new ones that came out, I think 2018. So playing Hitman 1 and 2 with mission stories disabled, I'm going to be going through Hitman 1, 2, and 3, because I have Hitman 3 and you can play all of the Hitman games through it. I'm going to play it with the minimap disabled and with mission stories disabled soon, and I'm really looking forward to that. I think that's going to be absolutely great, because that shit is going to be awesome. But see, I'm a completionist, so I was always attached to getting experience. But yeah, having that experience was so fucking good. Hotline Miami, it was decent. It's not my cup of tea, however, I can definitely appreciate why people do enjoy it. The top-down perspective is definitely very interesting in this day and age, especially how it's done so well, considering like the amount of action that happens on screen. The quick respawns especially are very nice, and the soundtrack's good. So I think it's that, but personally, it's not my cup of tea. Actually, I'll even bump it up to good. I think it is good. Just Cause 2 is also good. It is a game that didn't memory leak my computer to die. That's literally... I genuinely believe Just Cause 3 had a hand at destroying my old computer. 100%. Because there was a time where I turned on Just Cause 3 and it blue screened, and then every single time I tried to launch it, after reinstalling it, it would either blue screen or crash. But then after that, my memory was always capped at like 65%, and I couldn't figure out why. So I'm like, alright, Just Cause 3, thanks man. One announced a VR mode, but only referring to VR as in PSVR, pretending V doesn't exist on PC, basically a giant ad for PSVR, and no move controller support, works with the DualShock and gyro. Oh, that's for Hitman? Yeah, that's kind of lame-o. I've heard the VR thing, though, isn't that good. For Hitman 3, at least, it wasn't that good. Life is Strange. Honestly, I didn't like it at all. I never played the sequel, but I've seen the sequel we played, and I think it's honestly the exact same thing. I remember I played this game on stream a while ago, and I'd take a shot every time something visibly or auditorily cringe happened. You may have been there for that stream, actually. But dear God, I fucking hate this game. It's so pandering. The fucking story is so... It's not generic, even. It's just... It's so poorly told, but with such a cool concept of being able to rewind and do shit differently. But then it's like, oh, now your powers don't work all of a sudden, and you have to deal with your decisions. But it's just like, bro, I hate the characters. I just want to like at least try to make them likable, and I get that that's not the point, but still, dear God, I couldn't stand this. I never played Metro, never played Mountain Blade, never played Neo, never played Pathologic. Nope. Yes, Rainbow Six. Siege it's decent. From when I played it at like launch, right? This is not speaking on what it is now. 6 months before launch, when they announced the Epic deal, they promised PC players would be able to access 1 and 2 for free if they owned it on Steam. Come launch day, and they haven't found a solution as promised. Took another 2 weeks. I know. I have yet to find out how to actually import my saves. Did they figure out how to do that yet? Is that like a thing now? Can we do that? Because I've just been waiting for it since. I thought it was an issue on my end for a while too. But it turns out that no, that's just like literally standard. They literally could not find a way to do it. I don't know if they have fixed it. I'm gonna go right in and install it right now. But yeah, Rainbow Six, I played it on like release, and then I played it maybe like 2 years later, like when Blackbeard and Valkyrie got released. Oh, and Echo. I remember I played a bit of Echo, but otherwise I haven't really touched it. Saints Row 2 is very good. I liked it. I played it with the same buddy that I played GTA 4 online with. And so I had a really good experience. Sniper Elite 3 I never played. Stalker never played. Battlefront 2 is going way up here. No, actually, it's gonna go down because honestly, it's not like it could be better. I feel like it's just capped. There's a certain level of good that this game could be, and I feel it's capped. But the other games exceed that, and so I think that's what Battlefront 2 is. Because Battlefront 2, it's still amazing. Don't get me wrong, it's still a great fucking time. But dear God, I feel like you just can't play it for that long. You can play one match, and then you're just like, oh, I've seen literally everything that can happen. Battlefront 2, the EA version, I haven't tried. Superhot I have played, and it is great. I do like Superhot a lot. It's such an interesting design for a game. Last resort, just get a list of all Steam accounts that own 1 and 2 and send the epic code to the... Yeah, exactly! That's such an easy fucking fix. And it's taken them 2 weeks apparently now? Dear Lord. System Shock 2 I never played. Undertale I never played. Nope. Is this New Horizons? No, this is the standard. Pokemon, nope. Cuphead. Actually, I did play this, but I just thought it was decent. I didn't finish it. It wasn't my cup of tea. Take a shot every time I say not my cup of tea. Death Stranding is getting a great... I liked the game. Don't hurt me. Announced you can import your save from Hitman 2 using a site that would be ready for launch. Site went live just 2 minutes before launch, crashed immediately, and even if you connect, the process itself was broken for many hours, was working only 8 hours later, and if you start playing 3 before transferring, then transferred. Yeah, I know. I discovered that too. You wanna know what I did? I transferred my saves from Hitman 2 over without knowing that. Fun fact, Shamu 2 came out in 2001. Damn, that's a while ago. But for Hitman 3 doing that, I realized I had deleted all my fucking saves. I'm like, oh, that's not a big deal, because I'll just go back and I'll play whatever mission I want. It's not a big deal. But then I realized, oh, you can't play missions out of order for the first time. You have to play them in order. So what I did is I just installed the cheat engine, gave myself I gave myself super speed and invisibility and no detection, and I just went through and I just one-shot everyone through the map and then just left, and I got Master Assassin on every single one of them. In like not even 20 minutes, in like 10 minutes. And I'm like, oh, I may have fucked myself because now I'm like I'm like a pretty high rank in all these levels now. So I'm going back through them and playing them legit now, but because of course I played them legit the first time when I played through them for the first, but then I did the Hitman 2 import save and it fucked over my progress. So I'm just like, you know, whatever. Shenmue 2 on Dreamcast lets you import your save with a save memory card, no website, no anything. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. That is kind of cool though, considering like, yeah, they had their shit figured out before Hitman, or not even before Hitman, before Epic Games did. Never played Diablo. I don't know what this is. Never played Grounded. Never played Just Dance. NBA 2K. If you buy these fucking games, you're an idiot. Persona 5 I've never played. Sly 3 I played Sly 2, so I haven't played Sly 3. Spec Ops: The Line is going in great because it's just such an on-the-nose representation of what those games back then were like, those third-person shooters, and it just called you out on it. It's like, bro, you're fucked up. You've killed so many people, you need to stop. Not to say that you had a choice in the matter, which is the issue with Little Miss Last of Us Part 2 over here, but, you know, we'll get to that. Valorant, I never played. Crusader Kings, nope. Dead or Alive, nope. I don't know what this is. Dying Light I have played. It's also going to be going the very good. I like Dying Light 2, or Dying Light a lot. Even when you could transfer your saves, the servers were full and you need to be online to save your progress in a strictly single player game. That's the fucking horrible part about these new games, right? That really is. The game itself had a ton of bugs, dev comments, become invisible, impossible to complete challenges, invisible washing machines, and what? Invisible washing machines, and managed to somehow introduce new bugs and legacy maps? I don't know anything about this. Fall Guys I've never played. Half-Life Alyx I wish I could play. Oh man, I wish I could. Last of Us Part 2 is getting a... I'm torn between decent and good. And it's definitely not because of the story. The gameplay loop is the fun part with it. The gameplay is fun. It attracts my goblin brain. I'm so torn. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put it right here between decent, so it's like kind of pushing itself up a bit. Metal Gear Solid 1 I've never played. Oblivion I've never played. Payday 2 I have played. It is, no, it's good. It's nothing crazy special though. It gets old after a while. When you play for the first time with your friends though, it's a fucking blast, but just it loses that pretty quickly. I've never played this, never played this, never played Rust, never played this. Titanfall 2 is gonna get the great. Honestly, Titanfall 2 I had a fucking blast with. The campaign is so much fun, and I wasn't expecting it to be fun either, which is so surprising. Or sorry, the surprise factor with that was why I had such a positive response to it. Dawn of War I never played. I've never played Warzone, never played this, never played Shovel Knight, never played Samurai Warrior. Never played this, never played Dead by Daylight, never Batman Arkham Knight. It is going below Arkham City, but it is still good. Physical Deluxe Edition was limited run games exclusive, were only shipped 6 months after launch, and you can't cancel your pre-order. Wow. Xbox players were unable to redeem 2016 content for free. It was up for Reddit to find a fix for it. To this day, the devs never addressed the situation. Jesus, you know a lot about the Hitman 3, or Hitman 1, 2, 3 scandals. I need to contact you if I have any questions about it. Microsoft Flight Simulator I've never played. No More Heroes 2 I never played. Nope. Oh, I have played Subnautica. It's good. It's nothing special to me. It's just sort of another one of those No Man's Sky, you're in a world, try to survive as long as you can type things, and you can eventually just become so self-sustainable that it's not even an issue anymore. Never played Super Seducer. Never played Warhammer. Yakuza 5 is going, it's the only Yakuza game that's going to be below great. It's going to go here. Because dear God, the story drags. It is so frustrating how bad the story is paced. It is, I remember I was streaming this game, and I called it out the perfect way when it was, I just got through Saijima's story, and I was right about to hit up Aikiyama, and I was so hyped because I'm like, dude, Kickman is about to do some kicks, and now we're playing as this K-pop idol simulator for the next 2 hours. And then after that, we finally play as Aikiyama for 20 minutes, and then we're back to K-pop idol. And I don't know about you guys, I'm not this like, this, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, where you're just obsessed with this kind of shit of living this idol life. Bro, I couldn't give a shit less. It's so boring. And the story pace is so bad. I couldn't believe it. No More Heroes I never played. Ghost of Tsushima is going way up here to amazing. The art style, the soundtrack, the combat, everything, the stealth, the story, it's beautiful. I'd even hesitate to call it a masterpiece. You know what, I will call it a masterpiece. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Is there Blind Forest? There isn't Blind Forest, so we're gonna pretend that this is Blind Forest, because Will of the Wisps can just go somewhere else because of the way that its story is told at the end. Fuck the ending of Will of the Wisps, but if this was Blind Forest, it would be up here, but because it's Will of the Wisps, it's going down here. How could you butcher a story this badly? A story that's so simple and had it's such an easy thing to do, right? The first game had you befriend the enemy, befriend your enemies then become your friends, and it's like very cheerful, and the game has such a nice tone to it, and it tells a very cohesive story. This game sets up narrative things. It sets up narrative and then just does nothing with it at the end. Like, literally, the bad guy just dies. He dies alone. After you try to show it compassion, the bad guy just dies alone. And now I won't spoil the fucking horrible excuse for an ending that this game has, because it just shits all over the fucking the first game, and it's like the tone that it was going for. Absolutely shit on it. I was saddened by this ending, but for the wrong reasons. You can slow down time with snipers by partially holding the trigger, except Joy-Cons don't have analog triggers, so you can't. Oh, I see, yeah. I remember that. That was an Absolution, too. Bayonetta 1, I played a little bit of, and the reason I only played a little bit of it was because it actually ended up crashing a lot. But it is good. It was fun. I am a big fan of character action games. Cold War, I never played. Crusader Kings, never played. Cyberpunk 2077. It's honestly going into amazing. I don't give a fuck what you guys say. It was amazing. Playing this game was such a treat. I don't care about the glitches. I really don't. Sure, people are T-posing around cars, cops spawn right behind you, fucking T-posing people. The crowds look like absolute dog shit. Everything just didn't really feel like right compared to the demo, but still, I liked it. The world was gorgeous and I loved the story. Fucking Keanu Reeves' Johnny Silverhand was awesome to listen to. I think I would put it right here, actually. I would put it right on the cusp of being amazing and great. Because the negatives do kind of outweigh the positives of this, but still, I fucking enjoyed it. Once this game becomes fully patched, which they are promising to do, they're promising on fulfilling every single wish that most of these users wanted. Once that happens, I'm sure this game will be fucking masterpiece, like it should be. Because remember, Witcher 3 was a complete mess at launch too, and they fixed that. Did they even test the Switch version? I mean, for fuck's sake. Oh, for Hitman? Yeah, probably not. I was wondering about it a month before launch tweet about it, and it didn't do anything about it. Doom Eternal, I have played, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I really didn't. Where's Doom 1? I put Doom 1 in good, right? Yeah, I did put in good. It's gonna go at the bottom of good, because it wasn't decent. It was still good, but it's going at the bottom of good. Hey, here's Final Fantasy Remake. Okay, Final Fantasy Remake was fucking decent. Final Fantasy Remake was decent. I had an okay time, and by okay, I mean okay. I had an okay time. It was like, but it was still keeping me semi-intrigued, and then I didn't even beat it at the end. I got to the very ending, and I didn't even want to finish it. I was just like, no, I can't. Hades is getting amazing. Or masterpiece. I don't even have to fucking explain it, but I will. Soundtrack, characters, voice acting, art style, gameplay loop. Done. Hearthstone, I've never touched. Hitman 3 is amazing. I fucking love the levels in this game so much. They are the best, man. They are honestly the best. The fucking China one, the China level with the neon lights, had me literally going, holy shit. I have not said holy shit out loud in a long time when looking at something or playing something. I did when I played that for the first time. I was blown away. The first thing I did in that level for 15 minutes was just walk. I just walked. All I did, literally looked at shit. I've never done this in a Hitman game. I was always in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, where's the target? I'll start going towards there. No, not this time. I just walked. That's all I did. Can't wait for the ray tracing patch coming to the Series X eventually. I don't know if ray tracing is already on the PC version. I don't think so, right? Superliminal, I want to play. I also never played this. Wasteland 3 though, I have played. Wasteland 3 was made by the original Fallout devs. It's a top-down strategy-based RPG, and it's great. It is honestly great. It is a good time. Yakuza Like a Dragon is also going to be getting Masterpiece. It is going to go Yakuza 0, then Like a Dragon, then Devil May Cry 5, then Spider-Man, then Ghost, then Hades for me. That in that order, that is my favorite. And honestly, that's it. So yeah, this does it. Let's take one last look, and then we're gonna go to our next one because we actually have more lists already planned out that are much more interesting. But let's see. Yeah, Yakuza 0 definitely. Amazing, Metal Gear Rising, Minecraft definitely, Silent Hill 2, Hitman Blood Money, Hitman 3, and then Battlefront 2. But it was the China map that had the invisible washing machines. I didn't even notice that. I didn't notice that at all. Yeah, Cyberpunk, Bioshock, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Yeah, yep. Fuck, I really do like Death Stranding, man. I really do. I feel like it's definitely better than that. Actually, no, sorry, it's not better than that. It's definitely like on the cusp though. If I let's see what my bad games are. Battlefield 1, Modern Warfare 3, For Honor, Getting Over It, Fallout 4, Far Cry 5, Counter-Strike Source, and Life is Strange. Yes, really bad. Overwatch, horrible. League of Legends and Fortnite. Yeah. I don't get the appeal of Fortnite. I really don't. Okay, that's my list. Don't at me. Those are facts. Next, Fast